Happy Easter. What climate change? I'm simply protecting the show from the whims of the schedulers. But I am in a festive mood thanks to a carafe of sherry and the return of two favourite family teams from previous series. And they are, on my right, David Edwards, a retired physics teacher who's been a judge for sword dancing competitions. Charlotte Martin, a journalist and amateur violinist who has sold discounted underwear to the cast of The Fast Show. And their captain, Richard Edwards, a science fiction journalist who asked his local MP some challenging questions when he came to visit his scout troop. The captain, Richard, is flanked by his wife and father. They are the Edwards family. Richard, we haven't seen you since Series 5. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Do you generally play games together as a family at Christmas?
We did like Trivial Pursuit, didn't we?
We did a lot, yes.
Yeah, there were always rumours about Dad sneaking off questions to practice, and that's why he always won. He denies it, but...
It helped to dispel the general slough of despond at Christmas.
Welcome to our festive show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming back. You are playing tonight on my left. Pete Wright, an IT support manager who recently retired and is hoping to spend more time fishing. Rosa Wright, a charity worker and trainee psychotherapist who lost out on a part in a Get Into Teaching advertisement for being too distinctive-looking. And their captain, Liz Wright, a politics graduate and IT administrator who can play London's Burning on the recorder. All members of the Wright family, they are the Wrights. You were last here in Series 4. Happy Christmas.
Thank you.
And are you big family games players?
Absolutely, yes. Charades, preferably after dinner when enough has been imbibed to make it really interesting.
Thank you very much for coming back. Let's play a Christmas quiz. Edwards family, you won the toss. You're going first. Please choose a festive hieroglyph.
Can I have the horned viper, please?
What could be more festive than a poisonous snake? That'll be your question. What do these clues have in common? Here's the first.
No idea.
Next, please.
Oh, they show it every year at Christmas. It's a famous film. Dinner for One in Germany. It's like a tradition.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to go for that one.
Would you...
I think that sounds a good one.
They show these films every year at Christmas in these countries.
They are Christmas TV traditions. Very well done. After just 2 clues, you get 3 points. Let's have a look at all the clues. What can you tell me about these pieces of culture?
Well, the
Snowman is far too tragic for Christmas. I know that much.
Do you watch it every year?
Every year and weep inconsolably.
It's a Wonderful Life, discusses suicide in an
Another
unusual
festive
way.
classic.
Dinner for One, I think, is quite a slapstick thing, from what I understand.
It's a sort of sketchy type of thing. It's only 18 minutes long,
Yeah.
and it's usually watched by about 17 million people. That's more
Yes.
than 20% of the population of Germany.
Yes.
Settle down every year for Dinner for One. The Irony of Fate or Enjoy Your Bath. It's a 3-hour-long Soviet film that was first broadcast in 1975. Very well done. You get 3 points. Right, family, what would you like?
Could we have the 2 reads, please?
Yes, you could. What is the connection between these picture clues? Here's the first.
Les Dawson?
Les Dawson, Chris Hobbs, yeah.
Is it Les Dennis? Do they share letters with it? Like Les Dawson, Les Dennis.
Next, please.
Chris Evans is also...
Is there another one? Right.
No.
Next, please.
That's...
Brother. He's got a brother.
What, a brother? Yeah, but Les Dennis hasn't. Next, please.
Les Dennis is not there.
That's their jobs, isn't it? Well, that's what they...
Graham Norton.
2 seconds. Press.
Do they all have other people with the same name doing the same job?
I'm afraid that's not it. Edwards family, do you know?
They all replaced Terry Wogan.
They all replaced the great and very Christmassy Terry Wogan. What was the quiz show on which Les Dawson replaced Mr. Wogan?
Blankety blank.
Blankety blank. Chris Evans as the breakfast host on Radio 2. Jeremy Vine, what was that?
Would that be Points of View?
Points of View in 2008, and Graham Norton as the host of the Eurovision Song Contest. Very good, but Terry Wogan, wasn't he great on Eurovision?
The
Oh,
best.
Who knows what hellish future lies ahead, he once said. Actually, I do. I've seen the rehearsals. Well done, Edwards family. You get the bonus, and you may choose your own question.
I, Horus, please.
The mince pie of Horus. Merry Christmas. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Pearl earrings, famous one, I think.
Next. Well, that was a girl. Was it a girl? Was it a girl on a? I don't know.
I don't know. She was a milkmaid.
Oh, well, there's a picture. There's a Vermeer painting, maid pouring milk, but I think we maybe need another one.
Next, please.
She was a milkmaid. No, but could be milkmaids then, couldn't it?
Oh, okay, yeah. They're all milkmaids.
They're all milkmaids. What do you think the last clue would have been?
8 maids are milking.
It would have been the gift given on the 8th day of Christmas. 8 maids are milking. Yes, Vermeer painting Het Melksmeier, hot milkmaid, or possibly just the milkmaid. I'm not quite sure. In the Wrights Museum, and the inspiration for the cowpox. What's that about?
Edward Jenner spotted that women who were milking cows and spending a lot of time with cows weren't getting smallpox.
They got cowpox, and if they had cowpox, they didn't get smallpox. And Tess D'Urberville, who's that?
Tess of the D'Urbervilles.
Tess the D'Urbervilles was a milkmaid. So 8 maids are milking are given on the 8th day of Christmas. So if they're given every day from the 8th day to the 12th day, how many milkmaids are given?
Too many.
40?
It's 40 altogether, and of course 40 cows. So if they were all milking, assuming the average cow produces about 39 pints of milk a day, you would end up with 1,560 pints of milk per day. Wrights family, what would you like?
Could we have the lion, please?
Yes, you could. It's a music question. You'll be hearing your clues. What do they have in common? Here's the first.
That's Dean Martin, isn't it? Right, next, please. That's Dean Martin's one, I think, isn't it? Next, please.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows.
Are they all duets that were recorded posthumously, that feature Dean Martin?
They don't all feature Dean
don't all
Martin,
feature-
but I will accept that answer. One of them does. They are posthumous duets. Do you know what else we heard over there?
Was it Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald?
It was Rod Stewart and Ella Fitzgerald, and then
Bing
Kylie
Crosby.
Minogue and Frank Sinatra from the album Kylie Christmas. And you didn't need to hear Susan Boyle and Elvis Presley. Posthumous duets. Well done. Back to you, Edward's family. What would you like?
Water, please.
Water. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next.
Things that Jesus was in the song by someone whose name I can't remember.
Do we need to know the name?
Who knows, but it's certainly things that Jesus was.
Any ideas what the song is?
I can't remember what it's called. I think it was called Jesus was a crossmaker, but...
Could
Or
it-
you can see
could
the
it-
next
could
one.
it- Could it be Leonard Cohen?
no, it's a woman who sings it. Do you want that?
Are they all things that Jesus was
Tell me a little bit more.
in a song?
They are all things that Jesus was in actually a variety of songs. Charlotte, you're thinking of just the second one. Jesus was a crossmaker. That's Judy Sill.
That's the one.
But the first one, Bruce Springsteen. You didn't need the next 2 clues. Let's have a look. I think you would have known they weren't the same song. Do you know what these songs are?
Oh, that's Suzanne, isn't it?
Suzanne.
Black Grape.
And the last one, yes, Black Grape, Shaun Ryder from Kelly's Heroes. Very well done, well quizzed. Again, you get 3 points for the early buzz. Back to you, Wrights, for the last question of the round, the twisted flax. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Oh, hang on, Romeo and Juliet, I think was a garage or grime artist, but I don't know. Oh, hang on. No, can we
Next, please.
Are these combinations of people, like, is it...
What, like Elvis Presley?
Are they these people who've had Christmas number ones kind of squidged together?
Do you want me to go for that?
I don't know, do you want to go?
Yeah, go next, please. You want me to go again? Next, please.
That's Voldemort.
2 seconds.
The anagrams of
Are they all...
like anagrams of Voldemort. They're all...
That is correct. What else can you tell me?
Are they from different languages for Voldemort?
They are Voldemort's real name in other languages.
Right.
Romeo G. Detlev Jr., an anagram of Jaeger Voldemort. Danish, that's Danish. Tom Elvis Jedusor, that's in French. It becomes Je suis Voldemort. Could I be saying the name of Voldemort any more times? I'm absolutely cursing myself. Tom Musvox Ruddle. That is an anagram of Some Ducks Voldemort, which is, of course...
Some Ducks Voldemort. Is that Dutch?
It's Latin. Who knew there's a Latin translation? And the last is the English one. I'm feeling a faint shiver. I think I'm going to treat myself to a chocolate. This is a genuine box of chocolates I have here, and I've been told that for insurance reasons, I'm unable to share them. I simply can't hand them around. I have to have them all myself. I think I'm going to have one of these. That means at the end of round 1, the Wrights have 3 points, the Edwards family have 9. Round 2. This is going to be hell for continuity, isn't it? Round 2, the sequences round. Edwards family. You'll be going first again. What would you like?
Twisted Flax, please.
Twisted Flax. You'll be seeing the first in a series of clues. What comes forth? Time starts now.
I think we should get the next one.
Next. That looks like Finnish.
Right.
Do you think they're kind of great? Is it like Happy New Year? So
But they're the times that they celebrate them in those countries
Yeah,
compared to
times,
the UK, because they'd be out in UK time. That's when they... So
midnight Happy New Year.
that'll be
We'll
Russian.
Blwydd Hapus and get the local.
So midnight, Happy New Year.
Yes.
12 a.m. or midnight, Happy New Year.
Is the right answer. Talk me through this sequence, please.
So we think that these are the times in the UK when other countries are celebrating their New Year and how they would greet each other to say New Year. I'm assuming is the first one Russian, maybe?
Or Romanian, maybe?
So it's 3 hours difference then.
Turkish.
The second one is Finnish, I think, which would be 2 hours difference. 1 hour difference, is that like...
German.
German.
That's German.
And then British.
I mean, obviously, I was expecting Blwyddyn Newydd, one of the British ways of saying Happy New Year, and it would be midnight. Well done. Back to you. Wrights, what would you like?
Can we have the Horned Viper, please?
Yes, you could. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Can we have next, please? Do you recognise the names at all? No? Next, please. Oh, there, yeah. So, 2 of something, I presume. Size 7'5", 2 of 3. 2 of 3
Who's
children?
the second of 3
Second
children?
of 3 children.
So, like, who's in Peter Pan? Like, is it
Wendy, John and Michael.
is John the middle?
Yeah, John. It would be...
2 of 3.
2 of 3, John.
Which John?
The Darling
Darling.
family.
2 out of 3. John Darling would be acceptable. We've gone with Dewey Duck. What's the sequence?
It's the middle child of the family of 9, 7, 5 or 3.
That's right, and they are all middle siblings. Here is something that was said by Matt Youngberg, the executive producer of DuckTales. Huey's the oldest, a little more responsible and brainy. Hold on, my brother's the oldest. He's not the brainiest. Dewey wants to stand out and wants to break out. Louis is happy being the youngest child. He can slip under the radar. Well, that is me. You know, I hate to be noticed. Well done on the siblings. Edwards family, what would you like?
Lion, please.
Lion. You're going to see some picture clues. What would you expect to see in the 4th picture? Here's the first.
It's 5 guys named Mo.
Yes.
So it'd be something like two maybe, but
Well.
next. Beetle Street. There were 4 Beatles.
So it could be
The Fab
2
Four,
of something.
so it could be a band with 2 in it.
Something
Or...
to do with Beatles.
Next. 3 Men and a Baby, so it's 2. Like Thompson Twins or...
Do we need the number in the
Two.
Fab 4 5 named Mo? So we need the 2 something.
2 Ronnies.
Go on then.
The 2 Ronnies.
Is an acceptable answer. We went with the slightly less highbrow 2 gentlemen of Verona, but I would say that the 2 Ronnies are more Christmassy. So very nice. And what's happening here?
It's like 5 guys named Mo, then I think Beatles would be Fab 4, 3 Men and a Baby, and then something with 2 in the name.
The Beatles are the Fab 4, but we are looking at a sculpture with a particular title. It's a sculpture in Matthew Street in Liverpool, and it's called 4 Lads Who Shook the World. Well done. Back to you, Wrights, for a choice.
Eye of Horus, please.
The Eye of Horus. I mean, you referred to the question incorrectly. What should you be saying?
Mince pie.
The mince pie of
pie of
Horus. Lovely. What will come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
19.
These victories of some party or something.
Next, please. And the 17, 18. It's got that in common.
So,
No, it's not. It's the sequence.
It's the government, yeah.
So-
Next, please. 1923, Labour. So what would the next one be? 10, 18, 23. I can't remember what year it is.
2019. December 2019.
December 2019 Conservative.
December 2019 Conservative is the right answer. And why?
December elections.
All Christmas elections, and after the big gap, December 2019, a resounding victory for the Conservatives. Well done. Edward's family, what would you like?
2 reads, please.
2 reads. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Ice cream sandwich.
Could be anything, couldn't it?
Days of the week.
I think we need to move.
Next.
Magnus, Lamb of God.
Days of
I
the...
think is it something to do with the conjunction of vowels? I don't know.
But it's definitely something more than a... Yeah, next.
Oratorio.
I mean, there's a Christmas oratorio,
Yeah.
But
but what would come next?
also it's a sequence. And
Yeah.
so you have a... Could you have,
Yes.
for like celebrations, could you have like one day you have something Christmas oratorio and then something for Boxing Day?
Oh, I don't know.
Christmas
Guess
is
something from...
1 second.
St Stephen's Mass.
Not the answer, I'm afraid, although nicely Christmassy. Wrights, do you know?
OS. Sorry, you.
Oh, yeah. She Loves You by the Beatles.
She Loves You by the Beatles would be an acceptable answer, but give me something more Christmassy.
All I Want for Christmas Is You.
All I Want for Christmas Is You. We went with Caribou. What is the sequence?
They end in AE, then EI, IO, OU.
Well done, very good. And you get your own question, the water question. What would come forth in the last sequence of the round? Here's the first.
Force mark. Should we go next, please? Are these the most popular boys' names or something? Next, please. Oh dear. Do you recognise them at all? Mark, Darren, Jill.
It's going to be like the first.
First.
The
first Noel.
Oh, go on then.
The first Noel.
And what would the sequence be?
Well, I was thinking Mark is the 4th in the Bible books. I'm not quite sure about Darren, but Jill goes with Jack, so that's Jack and Jill.
Yes,
So we'd have
I
a first
see.
Noel.
Good work on constructing the sequence as you went along there, but I'm afraid that's not it. Edward's family, your chance for bonus now.
First, probably Jason. It could be anything.
First, Jason.
Not it either. We are going back in time through winners of Strictly Come Dancing. Mark Ramprakash was the 4th winner, Darren Goff the 3rd, 2nd Jill Halfpenny, and the first person to win Strictly Come Dancing was, my dress is a clue...
Goldie.
I mean, thank you, because that could have been worse.
Kaplinsky. Was it Kaplinsky?
Natasha Spangles Kaplinsky was that first winner. So no points there. That means at the end of round 2, the Wrights have 8 points, the Edwards family have 14. Connecting wall time now, and Wrights, it'll be your turn to go first, so please choose lion or water.
Lion, please, Victoria.
Lion, or as I call it, mince pie-ion. You have 2.5 minutes to solve that wall, starting now.
Right, the Gruffalo's a kid's book.
Yeah.
A Zog's a kid's book as well. I'm guessing Superworm is.
Superworm.
Maybe, but I don't know. Come back to it. You've got Monkey Puzzle's a type of tree. Jack Sprat would eat no fat.
We got
Things you might take for a dog. So a collar, a muzzle, a lead, and a pooper scooper.
That's it.
Muzzle.
Pooper scooper.
Pooper scooper.
And lead.
Lead.
To the bottom left.
Right, okay.
Okay, maybe not then.
Collar, whistle.
You've got St. Nicholas, St. Constantine, St. Umberto, St. Michael.
St. Michael, St. Umberto, and St. Constantine.
Right, okay.
Then we've got
Stickman.
Good heavens.
Right, try the
Is
Gruffalo.
Monkey Puzzle a kid's book as well?
It might be,
Yeah. Monkey Puzzle, the Gruffalo, Stickman,
And Superworm, Stickman,
the Gruffalo, and what else?
Stickman.
Zog.
Oh, yeah, Zog. Try Zog.
Zog, the Gruffalo, Stickman, Monkey Puzzle, no.
Oh, Superworm, Zog. What are the other ones anyway? So we've got Jack Sprat. All right,
All
so
right, okay.
dog
So we've got
collar,
collar, lead,
muzzle,
whistle,
and whistle. Right.
3 lives now.
Oh, are these like autobiographies or something with Good Heavens, Stickman, Superworm, and I don't know what the other one is.
No.
2 lives.
Yeah, because Good Heavens is missing an A.
Yeah.
Jack Sprat's got 2 T's, 2 Z's, 2 F's. I don't know.
2 T's, 2 Z's.
Yeah, Gruffalo.
No.
1 life now.
OK.
Good Heavens is missing a letter.
Monkey Puzzle is a tree. Stickman. Good.
Oh, yeah, Good Heavens.
That's it. Your time is up and the wall has frozen. But you found 2 groups. Tell me about the connections. Nicholas, Michael, Constantine, Umberto.
They're all saints, or they have saint put in front of their name.
Do you know, I'm going to give it to you. I was actually looking for kings. Last king of Greece was Constantine, Michael of Romania, Umberto was the last king of Italy, and Nicholas of Montenegro. But they are all saints, and that's a nice Christmassy answer, so I'll give you that. And what about the next group? Collar, muzzle, and so on.
All to do with dogs.
Stuff that a dog owner might want. And you can still get points for the connections in the groups you didn't find, so let's resolve the wall. OK, Zog, Superworm, Stickman, Monkey Puzzle.
Are these all children's books?
Yes, they are. Do they have something else in common?
The same author, I'm guessing, but I don't know who it is.
I'll give it to you because they are children's books by the same author, and that author is the wonderful Julia Donaldson in collaboration with the artist Axel Scheffler.
Right, OK.
And the last group, The Gruffalo, Jack Sprat, Pooper Scooper and Good Heavens.
These all contain the surnames of Avengers or people in the Marvel series, so it's Mark Ruffalo, Chris Pratt, Bradley Cooper and whoever. Chris Evans. They're all Marvel heroes.
Very well spotted. They are Avengers at the ends of the words. So you found 2 groups and you gave me all 4 connections. That's a total of 6 points. Let's bring in their opponents now and give them the other wall, see how they get on. Edward's family, you have the water wall, or as I call it, the vintage porter wall. Merry Christmas. 2.5 minutes to solve it. Starting now.
OK, Bogeyman and Snowman, you've got Hargreaves.
Briggs.
Briggs, Ernest Christmas.
Father Christmas, yes.
Yeah, Ethel and Ernest and Snowman. Or possibly the Snow Dog.
Oh, where's the snake? Yeah. No. OK, we'll come back to that. Fennec is a kind of fox.
Yes.
Marshall Mathers is M&M.
Oh, it's a desert fox. Will that help? Is there
So,
anything else with desert in it?
M&M is Marshall Mathers, so he had an LP named after him. Domino.
And Sweeties.
M&M's. Oh, is there another clue for Sweeties, maybe?
Should we try with the Briggs? Should we keep going with those? Because we've got 5, I think. So we've got Snow Dog. I wouldn't do Snowman and Snow Dog at the same time. Maybe, or possibly not. Domino is a record label.
Yeah.
Is Shellac? Shellac's a band.
Shellac was used to make records. As a material.
Domino is a Bond girl.
Yes. Ernest is the first name of a Bond villain.
Surely there's a Holly Bond girl.
There is, yes, actually.
And Honey Rider.
Honey Rider, yeah.
Right.
Carmine is a...
OK, Paris, possibly.
Christmas.
Oh, Christmas, yes.
Yes.
Domino.
Leave out.
Yes, OK, they're Bond girls. OK, let's go back to...
Briggs. Or Bear. Probably there's a Snow Bear as well, I think. Leave out Snow Dog, possibly.
Is there a Bear Fox? Fennec Fox?
SN... Oh, are they elements?
Ah.
Effie. Fennec.
10 seconds.
And Tin. No.
The time's up and the wall has frozen. What a horrible wall. Merry Christmas. But you did find a group. What is the connection? Christmas, Holly, Paris, Domino.
They're all the first names of female characters in Bond films.
They are Bond girls, absolutely right. And you can get points for the connections in the groups you didn't find, so let's resolve the wall. Ernest, Snowman, Bear, Snow Dog.
Raymond Briggs characters.
They are adaptations of Raymond Briggs, and you had them all, but you never put those 4 in the same group. And the next group, Swampy, Bogeyman, and so on.
Start of them are all sort of swampy bog things that are, you know, yes, wet, damp places.
Well spotted. They start with wetlands, swamp, bog, marsh and fen. And the last group, silk, honey, shellac, carmine.
Shellac is made of
Beetles.
beetles, yes. Carmine might be as well. Honey comes from insects. They're
They'll
all
come
produced by
from
insects.
Products that derive from insects. That's absolutely right. So you found one group and you gave me all 4 connections. That is a total of 5 points. Let's have a look at the overall scores. The Wrights have 14 points. The Edwards family have 19. Into the missing vowels round now. Fingers on buzzers, teams. I can tell you that the first group of disguised clues are all traditional accompaniments to Christmas turkey. Wrights?
Cranberry sauce.
Correct. Wrights?
Chestnut stuffing.
Delicious. Don't pretend you don't know. It's arguments. Next clue. Edwards family.
Spirits.
I'll take it. I was expecting sprouts, but spirits are also traditional. Well done. Next category. Answers from this show. Edwards family.
Milkmaids.
Yes, it is. Edwards family.
Jesus in songs.
Well done. Edwards family.
The Two Gentlemen of Verona.
Well remembered. Wrights.
Spirits.
I'll take both spirits and sprouts, correct. Next category, community chest cards in Monopoly. Wrights.
Get out of jail free.
Merry Christmas. Edwards family.
Advance to go.
Yes, it is. Wrights.
You have won second prize in a beauty contest.
Thank you very much. The last one, even better, bank error in your favour. But the jingle has sounded for the end of the quiz. And looking at the final scores, the Wrights finish with 19 points. The Edwards family have 24. Very well done, Edwardses, but well done, all of you. Thank you very much for coming along. Lovely to see you all again. Old Lang Syne and all that. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And what do you think? I've actually had a Christmas card. Well, it's more of a festive postcard, really. It's from last year's series champions. Isn't that nice of them to write? They say, "Dear Victoria, Yuletide greetings. We've gone away for the festive season. We pooled all the money, sponsorship deals and cash-in endorsements that Winning Only Connect brought and have gone on the most expensive Christmas holiday possible." And look, it's from the Premier Inn in Stevenage. Goodbye.